And welcome to your Friday afternoon edition of Colona Now Live. We're broadcasting on YouTube and X, your day's news headlines and stories. And here we are. Outdoor enthusiasts in the central Okanagan have a lot to look forward to. Yeah. Outdoor brands that you maybe have heard of, ARX and Fri Jan, opening stores.
Look at you, Fri Raven.
I think I said it right.
I think you did too.
Downtown Colona will be opening up soon.
Oh, that's awesome. That's been in the works for a while. So the pair of outdoor clothing and equipment brands will be setting up shop in downtown Colona in the coming months. And you can see the picture of kind of that area that they're working on. Both of those will be opening up retail stores on Bernard Avenue in 2024. And one at 13313 Bernard Avenue, and Fri Raven will be less than a block away at 345 Bernard Avenue. ARX is a British Columbia brand headquartered in North Van that has spread well beyond its province's borders. The company focuses on technical apparel for mountaineering and alpine sports and well suited for this area, and well known for its waterproof Gore-Tex shell jackets, knitwear, and down parkas. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of exciting. Mark Burley told us that, confirmed that news, that the store is opening, and said it's a welcome addition to downtown Colona. I mean, that sounds like an amazing thing.
Totally.
And ARX, BC brand, and Fri Raven comes from across the world in Sweden. It kind of looks like that from the name.
It looks like a fjord.
There you go. Kind of like
got my
IKEA.
Make sure you have your Fri Raven on before you head to the fjords.
So they do have a brick and mortar location in Vancouver, Victoria, Banff, Calgary, and Edmonton. And the new Colona store will be the first for the BC interior. So awesome. No firm date yet.
Well, we certainly have plenty of outdoors activities and amenities. So
I mean, it's a perfect place for that kind of stuff.
100%.
Sure.
And plans have been revealed for the 23-story tower at Colonna's Capri Center. Now, this is a bit of a different application than originally.
Yeah, so originally it looked pretty epic. They had a skating rink and everything. I don't know if we can pull that photo up there, Nick. But GSL's, there you go. The one on the left there was the application they submitted back in, I think it was 2018. And then the one on the right is what they're submitting now, and it'll be more of a phased approach. So they submitted, and you can get that if you go to Colona now, a 51-page application. Shows drastically different plans than their original mega project that was proposed for the Capri Center. Because in the original one in 2018, they had a 20-acre site which included 14 residential buildings and an NHL-sized skating rink and amphitheater. I mean, they do like their sports. GSL Group also owns Victoria Royals. So there you go. When Colona City Council adopted the Capri Landmark Redevelopment Plan in April 2019, they gave the green light to building heights up to 26 stories in the Capri Center. And that building would sit atop a 5-story podium with above-ground parking and one level of below-grade parking. So there you go. The first phase there, that's at 269 residential units, includes 6 townhouses, 38 two-bedrooms with a den, 63 two-bedrooms, 64 one-bedrooms with a den, and 95 one-bedrooms and 3 studios. Lots and lots of developments, right? We seem to do like a couple a day here, right? So, again, lots more on this story, and you can go get that link to that document too, where you can read a lot more on that project. So,
and we have a lot of
yes,
and we have a lot of snow on the way, and so as a result, the highways team has enacted the quote-unquote Coca-Cola protocol.
Yeah, they're expecting a big dump, but that's the maintenance contractor expecting Environment Canada. They had a different forecast. They're forecasting for most of that snow to hit the highway we talked about this morning, right, out in the Kootenays. So I guess we'll see. We reached out to Environment Canada. We haven't heard back yet. So again, if you're out in the mountain passes, be prepared for anything. Always be prepared for lots of snow, right? So.
Yeah, and those trucks on the Coca-Cola, seen a few problems recently with people
just be
passing.
Safe when just be safe when they're around, especially when they're working, like in that photo there, when they're working together and they're pushing, right? So trying to get around them is not a good idea, right? It's better off to pull over and have a little bit of a break and let them get ahead of you or something.
Yeah, exactly. Tracy Gray has written and contributed another column, and she expresses her concerns about Okanogan wineries and breweries and their concerns about excise tax.
Yeah, we talked about that, I think it was this morning or was it last night, that a 4.7% increase in taxes set to come for alcohol. And so she's saying local wineries, breweries, cideries, and distilleries in Okanagan And across Canada are very concerned about the government's yearly escalator automatic excise tax increase on alcohol, and that'll set to go again April 1, 2024. And she said they're already struggling, and these costs inevitably get passed on to restaurants and other licenses and ultimately the customers, and therefore increasing inflation further. So you can go read that full piece from Tracy Gray on colonanow.com.
And 4%, these add up over time. Not too many years go by and you're paying a lot more for a glass of wine. Wildfire mitigation project. You may have noticed the smoke will continue and resume.
I think that's a word you're going to hear quite a bit in the coming years, wildfire mitigation. Mm-hmm. Actually, my future son-in-law is working in that area. That's so right. Wildfire mitigation, I think you're going to start to find out that a lot of people are actually working in that field now in an important area. Obviously, we're dealing with a lot more wildfires, and the more they can do to mitigate it in interface areas, the better. So
we get a little bit of smoke now instead of a lot of smoke later, hopefully.
Yeah, they're just reminding people that you're going to see some of it, but they are working on Spy on Cop this month. And if you hear chainsaws and that running and you see fire and that kind of stuff, just kind of avoid that area as they're working in that area, right? Mm-hmm.
And a West Kelowna city councillor is now seeking BC United candidacy.
Yes. Stephen Johnson is seeking the candidacy for the BC United Party in the West Kelowna Peachland riding. That's after current MLL Ben Stewart announced in October that he will not be seeking re-election. So the rumors are true. Johnson is going to run. After 5 years of serving city councillor and regional district of Central Okanagan director, he says his passion for public service is driving him forward to a new pursuit. So he first entered municipal politics in 2014 as a mayoral candidate against former West Kelowna Mayor Doug Finlater, and he was narrowly defeated but earned the most votes of any city council candidate during the 2018 election when he served. He secured another term with the top number of votes, 2,988, during the 2022 election. He continues to serve as a board member for the regional district of Central Okanagan alongside West Kelowna Mayor Gord Milsom. The 2024 election is slated to take place, I think, no later than October 19th. So the current NDP government can call that earlier if they like, but I think most people thinking it won't happen until the 19th. So. Mm-hmm.
And some South Asian communities are being extorted in BC.
Yeah, so this is a weird one. It starts with a voicemail demanding payment of some kind, and a series of missed phone calls came in, and later gunshots targeting the home of a Metro Vancouver business owner. His family and community are now gripped with fear. The businessman who spoke on the condition that his name and that weren't shared said the original message demanded payment, otherwise there would be consequences. He said it sounded like a prank of some kind, so he didn't take it seriously. And then he finally called them back, and they said, "You're doing well, so you need to pay us." And I guess this is going on in lots of communities. So police in at least 3 different provinces are dealing with similar investigations of extortion schemes targeting businesses, owners of South Asian communities. A tactic investigators say is commonly employed by organizing crime groups in the Indian state of Punjab. So, yeah. Yeah, so you can go to colonanow.com and read more on that story as well.
And an Okanagan community is forced to shut down the ice rink for the rest of the winter. Enderby.
Not great news for Enderby. I know that rink, I've coached in that rink and played many, many games there. And it's a big part of their community. So residents in and around Enderby feeling that now because they announced that the local arena will be closed for the remainder of winter due to a problem with the refrigeration system. Unfortunately, the issue is serious enough to prompt immediate shutdown of the system, which that means closing that arena to the public. The city has been advised by the refrigeration mechanic and an engineer that if the system is not shut down, there will be damage to the components, and should that occur, there will be significant risk as a safety hazard, so they had no choice but to shut it down. The city apologizes to rink users and inconvenience and promised refunds to groups affected by the closure. Hopefully the other communities can step in and help with ice time, because I know Enderby, they play hockey out there.
It's not even cold enough to hit the lake, the frozen lake.
So, I mean, they do have a lot of organized sports out there, and that's a lot of things that the young children do out there. So,
yeah. This one's kind of scary. Mystery man poses as dad as he tries to take a 5-year-old girl from BC daycare.
Yeah, police in Vancouver say a mystery man posing as a parent tried to take a 5-year-old girl from a home daycare in what they called a troubling case. They say the incident happened around December 13th when a man showed up at the East Vancouver after-school daycare about 3:30 p.m. and asked for the girl by name. The operator's daughter told police the man claimed to be the child's father, but the girl was out of the house with daycare staff at the moment, and the man left without her. Police became suspicious, or they became suspicious. They called the cops and reported the incident, and yeah, it's kind of a disturbing case, they say. So they're looking for a white man in his 30s, about 6 feet tall and medium build.
And a prominent member of the Okanagan wine industry has been accused of sexually assaulting a migrant worker.
Mounties in the South Okanagan are investigating allegations of sexual assault within the wine industry. According to the police, a prominent member of the region's wine industry is accused of sexually assaulting a migrant worker from Mexico. RCMP noted that the worker was employed by the accused. While police aren't releasing any details because of the nature of the investigation, it's believed that there may be more victims or witnesses, and they're encouraged to come forward. Considering the seriousness of this allegation, the potential of additional victims, police are reaching out to the community to speak with those who have yet to come forward. And so they're asking if you have been a victim or have any information, we're encouraging you to speak with the RCMP. Again, if you know anything, you can go to colonanow.com, and there's the numbers to call right there in the story.
This is an interesting story. You've heard of a hotel. Well, how about a flotel? The flotel ship that was used and housed about 600 Ukrainian refugees is going to be housing workers along the LNG line that they're constructing near Squamish.
An interesting way to do it. The ship will house more than 600 workers at the natural gas construction project north of Vancouver. This week after a 40-day journey from Estonia, where it had been used by Ukrainian refugees. The company contracted to provide this so-called flotilla or floating hotel for workers at the wood fiber LNG project near Squamish shared a photo of the MV Isabel in Vancouver's Burrard Inlet on Wednesday. They say the luxury ship was set to receive the final touches at North Vancouver Shipyard, including games tables and equipment for a fitness facility. You have your own little kind of like cruise ship there, right? So the ship recently housed people fleeing war in Ukraine, and the company building the LNG export facility said it's since undergone an extensive refit to its environmental systems and its living and dining and recreation areas. I have a friend that actually works in that industry, and that's what he does. He cruises around the world fixing ships as he's cruising. So that's kind of cool. They do refits all the time.
See the world.
So the flotilla includes catered dining areas, laundry rooms, first aid clinic, games. I mean, you can live on those things, right? So
I've actually there was an article.
State-of-the-art fitness facility.
Recently, I saw an article, a Canadian company, a couple, that's how they're spending their retirement.
I mean, I couldn't do it because I get motion sickness, so that would not be not for me.
I think I could do it. I like food. And 4 Okanagan spots on the new top 100 restaurants with healthy bites.
There you go, a healthy bites list. If your resolution is 2024, we talked about that. We did a show, actually, on goal setting. So if your resolution for 2024 is to eat healthier, even when eating out, Open Table has some suggestions on where to go in the Okanagan. The online reservation system, which seems to specialize in top 100 lists, has unveiled its Unveiled. I was thinking about veal, I guess. Unveiled its top 100 list of healthy bites. So there you go. So who's on the list? Old Vines restaurant at Quails Gate. Great restaurant. Block 1 restaurant at 50th Parallel. Ate there too. Love it. Shaughnessy's Cove. Great place as well. And Peak Fine at Sparkling Hill. I think I've eaten in all of them. So they're great. You?
Everything but Shaughnessy's Cove.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, I'd agree.
Now you've got a place to go.
Yeah.
And that's all we really had. The weather looks kind of good this weekend.
Yeah, off and on a little bit. It's going to progressively get cooler towards the end of the weekend. We might be in for some big snow here, obviously, which would be great for Big White. But
that was our first week of January, first week of the year, and we did a show on goal setting. And we're talking about maybe doing that on an ongoing basis throughout the year. And if you have a chance this weekend, maybe watch that and send us some feedback.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'd appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Oh, no.
Monday.
No. Monday, and I'm gone next week. Jason will be here with Marcy. Will be streaming in live from Las Vegas at the CES and bringing you some of the latest tech and stuff that's going on in the world. Because that's one of the biggest electronic shows in the world.
It's got to be the biggest trade
AI,
show.
EV, all that stuff, electronics. They've been sending me stuff on like everything from like new cooking things, like I think a scooter. I've been invited to a
smart appliances,
a cocktail party to launch this new scooter that goes like this AI scooter that there'll be UFC fighters there, like to launch this scooter. It sounds pretty epic. Not really my cup of tea, all that stuff, but like, I mean, talking about parties and cocktail parties and all that stuff. So I'll be out of my element. I'll be getting comfortable, being uncomfortable.
And filing reports.
Yeah, there you go. Hiding behind the camera. Anyway, we'll see you.
And safe travels then. And we'll talk to you on video next week.
All right. Until then, take care.